What's up everyone, welcome back to RaizelRealm, the channel where we break down the latest and hottest movies in Hollywood. Today, we're going to be talking about a movie that was released not long ago, but hasn't been widely heard of. It's called Blue Beetle. The first section of this review is going to be a non-spoiler, so it's safe for those of you who are just curious to know if this film is truly worth your time or not. After that, we'll dive into all the spoilers. Alright, if you're ready, it's time to strap in, let's get started. Blue Beetle is the latest DC superhero movie out this weekend. We all know that the DCEU movies have not had much luck for the last 2 years as Black Adams, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and The Flash all bombed at the box office. But here we go again with another attempt at introducing to us a brand new superhero. The assembly line chugs along. The film is directed by Angel Manuel Soto and stars Cobra Kai's Xolo Mariduena as the titular character. After the lackluster performances of superhero films lately, Blue Beetle honestly feels like a latecomer with not much hype and excitement surrounding it. It's a shame really, because this film might be one of the better DC movies in recent memory. The story is about Jamie Rees Mariduena, a recent college grad from Gotham who returns to his hometown of Palmyra, a glitzy high-tech city ran by Cord Industries, in hopes of building his career. But reality crushes around him. His family's home is in danger of gentrification, and Jamie ends up accepting a cleaning job at the mansion of Cord CEO Victoria Cord. One day, Jamie stumbles on a mythical blue scarab in Victoria's possession and takes it home. In true Spider-Man fashion, the scarab comes alive and fuses itself into Jamie's spine, giving him the ability to conjure beetle-like sentient blue suits that can fly, release energy beams, and protect itself with a magnetic field. Soon enough, Jamie must use his newfound superpowers to stop Victoria from taking the scarab's power for nefarious gain. Mariduena shines as Jamie, a young Mexican-American in want of social mobility who finds that in a wholly unexpected way. Truth be told, Blue Beetle doesn't offer anything new. It cobbles up elements from Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Venom, and other typical superhero origin stories with rapid banters and witty one-liners. What this film has is the very charming dynamic between the Reyes family. There's spunky baby sister Milagro, Jamie's loving parents Alberto and Rocio, formidable matriarch Nana, and eclectic Uncle Rudy. Their chemistry together is pretty much the shining star of the film. The Mexican-American family representation feels so authentic, although its messaging about the Latino experience in America can feel paint by the number at times. In a sea of the same old origin stories, Blue Beetle successfully infuses refreshing, inclusive Latin filter that's genuinely heartwarming. Director Soto does his best to give you what is essentially your typical CGI Latin superhero movie, a kinetic energy. The Blue Beetle costume is pretty cool looking, at once futuristic yet quite gnarly. In terms of its style, it's a pretty standard DC fare. It does what it needs to do. The script contains some commentaries about class, race, and economic struggles in America. Its effectiveness is a kind of mixed bag, but since we care about the Rises so deeply, their struggles become our struggles. On the superheroism front, Jamie is endearing in his journey as a wide-eyed 20-something endowed with expected power. Unfortunately, he's saddled with a lackluster villain, and we all know a hero is only as good as its enemy. Ceradon is wasted as Victoria, a paper-thin, evil corporate overlord who would totally be a mustache-twirling baddie if she had been a dude. Overall, despite some kinks in its story choices, Blue Beetle is a solid superhero offering, definitely more enjoyable than The Flash or Ant-Man, all thanks to its relatable, family-oriented focus at the heart. For fans of wacky, lighthearted superhero flicks, this is such an enjoyable watch. Quite familiar if you're well-versed in comic movies, but doing it really well. Alright folks, consider this your spoiler warning. We're about to journey into spoiler territory for Blue Beetle, so if you haven't seen it yet and want to experience all the twists and turns on your own, then now's the time to hit pause, catch the film, and then come back to join us for the spoiler-filled discussion. As was mentioned, the best thing about the movie is the Reyes family. Their banters and interactions are so lively and distinctive that you really believe they're a family. Their moments are packed with hilarity, like the time Jamie transforms into the Blue Beetle for the first time in front of his whole family. Despite the truly stomach-churning body horror happening right in front of them, the scene is kind of adorable thanks to each family member's reactions. The inclusion of some real everyday Latino things also endears you to the family. The Vicks under Jamie's nose when he faints, the seamless way the family slips between English and Spanish, it's the little things that get you. Speaking of favorites, George Lopez as Jamie's radical uncle definitely comes out on top. Milagro first comes across as the typical little annoying sis who side-eyes her brother all the time, but by the second act, her presence becomes really integral to the film, and there is a particular moment of grief later in the film that is just powerful. Even Nana is a total badass, with one standout moment after another. Another fun element is Jamie fibbing with his exosuit after he fuses with the Scarab. Voiced by Becky G, the sentient being inside of the Scarab becomes the sentient guiding Jamie in the suit, Jarvis style. The dynamic calls to mind Venom, with two entities fighting and learning to coexist with their shared power. The issue of gentrification and class disparity is ever more present in the movie. The Raizel's home is in danger of eviction by Cord's real estate developer, highlighting the plight of real minorities being displaced by big corporations. This dichotomy between the rich and the poor figures so heavily in the film to the point that it becomes heavy-handed. This extends to the villain of the movie. Victoria doesn't quite work as the big bad because of how broadly evil she is. What's her motivation as a character? She was vindictive because her late brother was picked to helm the company over her, and now that she's got control, she seeks to assert power by harnessing the Scarab for a dangerous new technology. If that doesn't scream generic telenova villain, I don't know what is. Meanwhile, secondary baddie Conrad Carapax is there to just be the super strong henchman, much in the way Frank Grillo played Crossbones on Captain America. Jamie's obstacles don't feel complementary to his character arc, rendering his journey rather lukewarm in the end. The film's villain issue is emblematic of so many recent big blockbuster releases where genuine character development gets lost in an attempt to convey a certain message. Thankfully, the beautiful bond between the Raiz family keeps the film afloat. If there's a good reason to check out this movie, it's them. Overall, while it's pretty heavily influenced by superheroes of yore, Blue Beetles proves that formulaic still works when you can make an audience care for your characters. So for that reason, I'll give it 3.5 stars out of 5. And there it is, that's a wrap on our review of Blue Beetle. If you enjoyed the deep dive, don't forget to thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments down below. Feel free to write in the comments section the movies or series that you would like me to review. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, stay real.